So we picked up the one for Dad. As you can see, this is an 8-ball champ. It is a very, very dirty, very disgusting 8-ball champ. So this is a Bally 6803. This was the what came after their Dash 35. If you don't know, Fathom is a Dash 35. And they call it the 6803 because it uses a 6803 processor. If you could see that. There we go. This is kind of when Bally started to cheapen up a little bit. I guess you can consider, if you know anything about muscle cars and cars, or automakers in general, they had what was called the malaise era, where they needed to be fuel efficient. They started kind of making things a little bit slower, and, you know, well, I guess this is kind of the malaise era for Bally, the 6803s. Not that they're terrible games, it's just they didn't put a whole lot into them because they were trying to save money. It has a lot of the things that you'd recognize from a Dash 35. You got a squawk and talk board right there. This is the MPU, and this is our power supply board. These power supply boards are super notorious for these. I got it plugged in, so for these large Molex, I think they're 0.084, 0.093. The headers on these get cold solder joints, and they start doing weird stuff down here and down here too. So one thing we're going to do is not only are we going to recap this and update the diodes in here. It has these dinky little diodes, which we're going to take out and replace with probably, I don't know, maybe the same things I use on the Williams power supplies. We're going to take those out. We're going to flip this fuse around. Got that tiny little 3/16 amp fuse. I have them and I get them, but they're getting more and more expensive, and there's just no reason for it. So you could just take that fuse holder and kind of turn it, and then it fits a small or a regular fuse. So we're going to do that when my desoldering iron comes, because my other one bit the dust. They don't make the Element anymore. It's 15 years old, so I just bought a new Hacko. We'll check the fuses. You know, we'll go up here. We'll get rid of that battery. I don't know if it was replaced at one point, but there is no alkaline damage, and we're going to keep it like that. I just didn't take it out right now because, believe it or not, it's still pumping out voltage. So I'm guessing it's not the original. It probably still works. The thing with the 6803s is if it has no battery, they start doing weird stuff, really weird stuff. The memory gets filled with garbage, and it just starts doing all sorts of nonsense. So that's why I'm keeping it in there. I'm going to turn it on and play it for you in a minute. Our squawk and talk will recap, and that's about it. There's only 3 boards in here that's all it really does. I mean, even the transformers in the back box, which is a real pain in the ass, but it works. Our displays work well. The only one that doesn't, I believe, is this guy right here. Our player and our ball. But I'm pretty sure that probably has to do with cold solder joints. A lot of times, I didn't try to wiggle it, but a lot of times when you have these, the solder gets cold and they won't work. We'll try to wiggle it later, not right now. You just got to be careful. If you don't know, all this stuff, right, that's all high voltage. We have a high voltage part on the power supply here. We got 190 volts, and we also got 230 volts up here somewhere. Where'd he go? He was here a minute ago. Trust me, there's a test point for 230 on there. There he is, right in the middle, 230. So you don't want to be sticking your fingers in here and doing all kinds of stuff with the power on. You got to be careful of that. So this is also the, you see where they cheaped out too. This back box is made of particle board, and you know, they router it, right? And then they use T-molding. So you can see the T-molding here cracked in the corner, right? This is from my dad's house. He wanted a pinball machine in good shape, but he didn't, you know, I didn't want him spending a ton of money because it's going to be just going to sit there. It's going to be played once in a blue moon. So as you can see, this is all label stuff. They didn't stencil anything. Let's go back out a little bit. There we go. They didn't stencil anything. You know, they just did this. So we're going to clean that up from a little bit, get some brown paint and paint it over here. We're going to paint it brown a little bit. All right. The rest of the cabinet's in nice shape. And again, these are particle board cabinets. So, you know, if these got wet, they would swell and start to crumble. But as long as we can make this side look decent, he's going to put it against the wall on the other side because the other side's a mess. So as long as you can make this look good, which it doesn't look bad, I think he'll be happy. We also got to get this, the leather, they call this the leather texture T-molding. Get some new T-molding for that. We just got to see if it's offset. Probably not. Let's get some T-molding and redo that corner. Yeah, because that corner's split there. So we'll redo that. And we'll neaten it up. Make it nice for him. The big thing on this is going to be the Playfield. These 6803s too had this thing where the back box slides out. And consequently, being that people couldn't mess with the back of them because they never took them out, the back glasses on these, and just so you know too, I mean, we're going to clean all these wires up. I got to take these boards out and service them, but these wires are a mess and they're pulling on the connectors a little bit, which we don't want. So we're going to clean that up. Nicey nice. So the back box slides out, but a lot of times these 6803 back glasses are in good shape because nobody took them out. Nobody took them out. Nobody had to take them out to service it. So they didn't get broken. They didn't get chipped. They didn't get scratched. They just kind of stayed put. So a lot of times you'll see them and they're actually really nice. So the main thing here is the Playfield. So the story with this is an old operator. I just got back from Jersey. She pulled this out of someone's family room. And it was probably someone who had a pinball machine for the family room for the kids just for fun and never serviced it, never cleaned it, never waxed it. Or, well, somebody waxed it at one point because it's got wax schmegma and rubber schmegma everywhere. But, yeah, you can see this white. I did a little bit of magic eraser. That's the residue from the magic eraser. But all this is just gross. This is all gross. This, as I run my finger on it, it comes off kind of, sort of. You know, it just needs to be naphthed and cleaned and all kinds of, like, loose particles. I mean, look at my fingers. You can see, right? But the nice thing is, it works. Everything works. And it's all there, except for this. But we have, we're going to try to repair that if we can't. I actually have a source where I can get a used one in nice condition, which I'm probably going to do that for a few of these. You can see right here, this is buckled from being left on. What happens is the bulbs get hot. They melt the plastic. They cause the plastic to warp. So this plastic is warped over here. But even the slingshots aren't in bad shape. A little scratch there, you know. So, I mean, it was probably in a home. The glass was on. It was played over and over and over again, but nobody touched it. Nobody did anything to it, which is good because a lot of times that kind of preserves things. It's not without its flaws. As you can see, we got some, you know, some wear over here, a little bit of wear over here. You know, nothing huge. Again, my dad's not really a pinball guy. This is just a little something extra. So I think if we clean it up and we ever so slightly clean it, like physically clean the dirt off it, and if we go in there and we touch it up a little bit, I think we're going to be just fine. You know, some inserts are, you know, we have some cupped inserts, some raised inserts, some sunken inserts, you know. So this is definitely not a collector quality machine by any stretch of the imagination. But again, we don't need it to be. This is actually, I would buy this machine and play with it and put it in my house. And honestly, if he doesn't like it, I'll just take it back and pay him for it. And I'll keep it. So you can see you're missing a star post here. But yeah, I mean, I'll turn it on for you. You can see it. I mean, it's a mess. The flippers need to be rebuilt. Plus it has all this black rubber, which is probably original. Black rubber sucks because it leaves all kinds of black dust and it makes everything really dirty. So don't use black rubber on your pinball machines. No good. Cards and everything. So yeah. Also, you can see they cheaped out in the front. No graphics on the front. It's a black front. It says press to start. Right? That's it. Here's the bad side. Shh, don't show my dad. It's missing the label. It's got some packing tape here. It's faded. This is probably, you know, the window was probably over here wherever it was for years. The back box, though, was nicer on this side. So I wonder, it'd be nice if we could swap back box sides and keep the cabinet on this side. But we can't do that. Legs are also gross. We got to get some steel wool and, you know, wash those legs off. Not in the house, though. We'll pop the legs off, put something under the machine, scrub the legs down. Legs are easy though. We could buy new legs. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're quote unquote a dime a dozen, so to speak, you know. So let's power it on, and I'll show you what we're dealing with here. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit though before we do that, because it was a little low when I tried it out before. There we go. And that volume pot's dirty. As I played. You could see it took some time to power up. Usually it's because capacitors just need to be redone.
Quit talking and start talking.
So yeah, it definitely needs some help. But I mean, amazingly, all the lights work. These are 555s, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to do LEDs. I'm starting to appreciate the original bulbs, that nice warm white, so they could dim them and everything like that. I kind of like the way it looks. It's dirty, yes, but I think once we clean out underside of these inserts, I think it's going to look good. So I'll play it for you. Let's see if it'll go, because before it didn't.
Chalk up.
There we go.
Up. Shooting solids.
So it sounds just like a Bally -35, right? It's funny too. The first time I turned it on, it did not.
Quit talking and start talking.
Oh, that's rude. It did not. The sound wouldn't work, and I'm guessing that's because the capacitors are so dried out. It took time to charge, right? So let's not, so we don't get yelled at again. The glass isn't on it, so it's going to sound.
One ball, 3 balls, shoot for 1 ball.
Yeah.
Too bad you scratched.
Oh, and those displays are working. They wave on the camera, but they're not waving in real life. I think it's got a
1 ball.
spring. I think is too heavy in here, because it's really launching that ball. Oh, where'd it go?
Shoot for 1 ball.
Where'd our ball go? Oh, we got to fix that. There's no rubber there, so you know it's gonna get caught. The rubbers are dried out.
Make the 4 ball. 6 ball. Make the 2 ball. Too bad you scratched.
So it's not a bad little game. You know, it's simplistic. Nothing fancy. But I think it's a good addition to you know, if you have a man cave or a family room.
You scratched.
If you have a man cave or something like that.
One more game, perhaps?
One more game, perhaps. If you have something like that and you just want like a cheaper, you know, fairly generic theme. He's got a pool table in his man cave downstairs, so this is going to go right in the corner by the pool table, so I think it's perfect. You know, these 6803 games, a lot of them weren't really all that popular, so they're out there. They made an okay number of them, not a great number, but an okay number, and they're not any harder to work on than a -35, and they you know, they fill that niche of, you know, at least in this case, rubber. You know, not a pinball person, yeah. And they want a pinball machine just to kind of round out their family room. And I think it's a perfect thing for them. You could hear there's some interference down there. You hear it? Yeah, this thing needs to be recapped. It definitely needs some work, maybe some grounding and everything. So, see the high scores all corrupt? Look, you'll see. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So yeah, we need some work. And I'm going to take you through cleaning this. I mean, the first thing we're going to do, I'm not going to do any electronic stuff yet. I'm still waiting for my desoldering iron, which with any luck will be here soon. Amazon, you know. But the first thing one of the things we really got to do, and probably one of the first things, is we got to take everything off. It's not like Black Knight where we're going to clean around it. We're going to take everything off. Everything's got to come off because there is stuff crunched in these little nooks and crannies, like, buh. So, and by the way, you see my meter here. Before I plugged any of those boards in, I unplugged all the power to all the boards, and then I checked on the power supply, the AC and DC volts coming out before I plugged anything in. You know, the last thing you want to do is plug something in and it blows up a board, right? All these boards are working. I haven't done anything on them. They need to be serviced, but they're working for the most part, and that's great. You know, if it's working, wonderful. I'd rather not go chasing things, so I wanted to keep it that way. So that's why we got on here and we tested everything. And they have test points and everything, so it was very easy. But, all right, so I'll bring you back to 8-ball. Look at these rubbers. Can you tell this hasn't been serviced in a while? Huh? And that's the thing. Nobody pulled on those. When I saw the pictures of it, they were just broken. Like, they just failed by themselves. They were stretched around the posts, and they just snapped. So, yeah, that means no one has touched this thing for a very long time. But we're gonna make it nice. Make it nice for Dad. So I'll come back, and when we have it torn down, I'll show you. If we find any wacky stuff, I'll let you know, and you can see it. So, all right, we'll be back with 8-ball champ.